guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel.
Welcome back, guys.
First of all, I want to tell you guys, thank you so much for all the subscribers. Like, wow, we have like 240 something subscribers in a month. Like, that's amazing. Like, it's so encouraging, and it just shows that like the content that we're putting out there, you guys love. Thank you for all of you that subscribe. Welcome.
And viewers.
Yeah, thank you for the views.
Our views. I think one of the videos we go over 2,000 views.
Yeah.
I mean, it was good.
It was very good. Like, we are quite happy with the result. Thank you guys so much for your support on
God
this
bless
channel.
you all.
And if you have not subscribed,
Please, we're begging. Don't just watch the videos and then you don't subscribe. Please, we beg you in God's name. Please subscribe, guys. Please.
let us get to 1,000.
Yeah, I mean,
before his birthday.
yeah, February 20th. Yeah, so.
Yeah, so we're very happy for our new subscribers, and today we're going to be talking about our permanent residency story, because we got a comment someone commented on the comment section that they wanted to hear our PR story, so that's what this video is going to be all about today.
Yeah, like the entire process of how we started the whole PR journey and how we got accepted, or approved rather. How my passport was asked or required of us to be submitted and all of that. Yes, that's what we're going to talk about
today. So without further ado, let's get started. So where would I start from?
I mean, I feel like you start from how you took your English test.
Okay, so officially my PR journey started January 2020, because I think that was when I took my English test. I took my very first English test because I schooled in Canada, so I was going to apply through the Canadian Experience class, and that simply means that when you're done school, get a job that fits the NOAC, like the NOC code.
What's it with the NOC? So
it's like
you don't remember.
It's like an employment, like it's like a job requirement. Like it's not just any job that qualifies you for permanent residency. So it needs to fall under one of those job categories. I don't know what they stand for, but that's what they call it. And so I got a job as a technical support specialist in a company, and I had to work there for 1 year in order to qualify for permanent residence. So I got that job March 2019, and so come March 2020 I will be qualified to apply for PR. So when March was fast approaching, I took my first English test. I kind of did like a CRS calculator just to find out what my score was and what I really needed to get, because during that time the scores were going up. Like the cutoff was like 470, 471. I remember very clearly.
That's for you to get into the pool.
Yeah, that's for you to get invited. It was 471, 470, and I was just like freaking out, because when I did my calculation I was at 433. I remember me and my husband were doing long distance relationship.
We're doing long distance.
So I always used to talk to him about it. Like, it used to freak me out so much. Anyway, so I did my first English test and I passed. I did very well, but because I don't have any other qualification, I needed to get like 100% or minimum 90% in order for me to make up to 470, 469 points. And because of that, I had to take a second English test. So that was frustrating me. And then one day at work, First of all, guys, I just want to let you guys know God is basically the meat of our entire story, because I feel like even Corona worked for our favor. It was just God from the beginning to the end. Like, I cannot say this enough. Like, it was just God. So one day I was at work and my co-worker came to me and she was like, we're just talking about like PR, like she was asking me if I've gotten into the pool, how did I get my employment letter, because I had to show my employment letter. So she was asking me if I've gotten my employment letter from HR. Then I asked her randomly, like, what's your point? And she was like, she's at 477. And I was like, what? Like, what do you mean by you're at 477? And she was like, oh, that she has a degree plus her postgraduate certificate from school, because she's Indian, so she came to Canada for school, right? So so because of that, and then I just remembered that OMG, I took a business analysis certificate course. For like, it was like for me it took me a year, so I actually have an additional certificate
that you can add up,
that I could add up. I was your point. Yeah, like I totally forgot about it. I didn't feel like it would like
make any difference.
To make any difference. But guys, I feel like it was God that sent her to come and talk to me about it, because I would have probably been stuck.
Because at that time you were already thinking of how you take the other exam, and it was at the peak of coronavirus. So I mean, like, everywhere was shut down. People were like, things were not really going on out there very well.
And I was freaking out, because it's like, I was planning on moving back to Nigeria, but I didn't want to move back to Nigeria unless I submitted my application for permanent residency. And
most of your friends were like, was it a good decision for you to like not have your PRO before you move back to Nigeria?
Guys,
it was just a leap of faith. I guess.
It was a leap of faith. But for me, like, I already made my research and I knew that it was okay. But it was just that, like, I wanted to make sure that I submitted it before I left. So, anyways, to cut the long story short, I ended up adding my business analyst certificate to part of my credentials. Okay, mind you, I had not yet joined the pool. This was still February. I was planning on joining the pool like the first month of March, because I didn't want a situation where I've gotten invited and I've not completed my 1 year of work experience. So I was basically preparing at this point. So when I added the certificate program, guys, like, it increased my score from 433 to 469. So if you're trying to come to Canada, make sure you add all your
credentials,
school
documents, masters, all of them.
Exactly.
So
the fact that I put that I have 2 or more certificates, and one was a degree, the other was a certificate, it made a lot of difference. And then also another thing that happened was that one day at work, I was complaining about my English test. I told the guy that I need my English test to be high, and like I keep getting the same score, because I did that twice. And the guy told me that I should, like my co-worker, he told me that I should try contesting my score to see, like.
Yeah, that's true, because you like asked for a remark. Something.
He was the one that made me ask for a remark, and maybe they might increase my point, and that way I don't have to pay $300 and something, because mine it was $350 for one test, and I've done it twice. So, and then if you want to ask for a remark, it's $50.
Yeah.
So
something mentioned.
Yeah. So I asked for a remark for two of my English tests that I've done 2, and thankfully one of them came back. Actually, the very first one that I did, the mark was increased by 1 point. So what happened was that when I added that to my credentials on the pool, my points went up to 472, guys. So
472. So you were even over.
I was over the pool limit that they were calling around that time, because around that time they were calling from around the cutoff, because around that time they were calling for 469, 471. I was at 472, 473, and after that time I'd already booked for a 3rd test because I really wanted to get a very high mark. I'd even started paying for English test courses online just to make sure that
you perfect everything.
I perfect everything, because at that point, like, my biggest problem was writing and reading. Like, that was affecting me a lot, so I was practicing a lot. But thankfully, I didn't need to write the test. And because Corona had hit and everybody had gone on lockdown, what happened was that I could ask for a refund. So I basically canceled the exam, and then they refunded me back my $350. So basically that was basically the foundation for how I was able to get into the pool. So once it was March 19th, once it was March, actually, because they call every 2 weeks. So once it was March, I got into the pool, and I made sure I got into the pool like 2 weeks to when they call, and when they would call, I would have already passed like my 1 year. So basically the next time they called, I was at the cutoff was 469 and I was at 471. So guess what, they invited me.
Qualified.
They invited me to apply for permanent residence. Yes! I called my husband, my damn boyfriend. I called him. I was like, babe, I'm coming home. So so that was what happened. This was, so as at March 20th, they invited me to apply for permanent residence, and it took me exactly 1 month to gather all my documents. Because I came to Canada when I was 17 years old, I didn't need to submit a police report from Nigeria. I didn't even need to submit any police report, so that really relieved me.
But then you did a police report before you came into school here? Like,
no, I didn't. If you're less than 17, you
don't
need to,
Okay.
So I didn't do any police report. So basically all I had to do was submit my employment, submit my English test, submit my passport, submit my my employment letter, and for proof of fund, because it's Canadian experience class, you don't need to submit the
proof of fund.
The proof of fund, but you need to do like you need to, when they say, oh, how much do you have, you can put 0. But what I did was that I put 6 months of my employment pay, just to show the Canadian immigration that I was getting paid by my work every 2 weeks. So it's not like I was making it up. So that's what I did for my proof of fund. And then by April 20th, 2020, I submitted my application for permanent residency, and I was ready to move back home, guys. So I started booking my flight to come home.
Yeah, I mean, you booked your flight, and I think it got cancelled like
several times.
3 times or 4 times. Yeah, and
it kept getting cancelled, and guys, I got desperate, so I took an evacuation flight back to Nigeria. Somewhere in June. By June 10th, they had sent me an email that I should submit my biometrics. And because everywhere was closed, most of the centers for biometrics were shut down, which was very good, because me and my husband we'd already decided that we're going to get married once I moved back. I wasn't sure if I was going to add him to my application, because I didn't know much about it. And then one day I was sleeping, and I woke up remembering a conversation with my friend. Literally, I woke up remembering a conversation with my friend about how when she applied for permanent residency, she added her husband while the application was in progress, and her husband is a permanent resident and he has never been to Canada. And I was like, really, how do you do that? Because I knew that me and my husband would eventually get married, and I didn't want a situation where I had to do spousal sponsorship. So if there was a way that I could add my husband during the process, like, I would prefer to do that, right? So I immediately, it was just like I saw it in my dream or something. Because this, I'm telling you guys, this conversation I remember it happened in 2019 January or 2018 December, one of those two. That's when I met my friend. I immediately did my research about it, how to add your spouse, when is the best time to add your spouse. In fact, I actually watched a detailed YouTube video, and it said that you can add your spouse anytime until your passport is stamped. but usually the best time is to add them around that during the biometrics period.
Stage.
It was not necessarily, but I just felt like for our situation it was the best. So I called my husband and I told him that, or my then fiance, that that there's a possibility that I can actually add you to my application. I kind of researched about it, and it's actually possible.
And I was happy.
No, you're not happy. You're like you didn't
like,
believe me.
I gave like some kind of vibe, like, I mean, oh, okay.
Like he didn't believe me. Like, I don't think he took me seriously, and I was trying to tell him exactly how it was gonna be. I even sent him the YouTube he watched, and my husband was just like it was just bland.
It was a video call, and I went to the stadium to work out, actually, to run. And then she called me that morning, on the video call, and she was like, she can add me to her application. And I was like, okay. In as much as I didn't really believe it or even think about it that way, I was like, oh, okay.
You didn't believe me at all.
I did actually, but I
feel like it was more seeing than believing, because